Hi, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner,
and our dog, Betty White,
your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
Could we have named it something more creative? Probably, but it's the name of our blog. It's our last name. We're on an adventure, yada, yada, yada. After running our own business, working 24/7.
And don't forget a mental breakdown in between.
We made a lifestyle change and decided to make the most out of life.
We sold our house, most of our belongings, downsized, and moved to the coast.
We live life minimally, but fully.
We live each day as an adventure.
This show will help you learn how to live life more fully, with more intention, by experiencing more, and with less stuff.
We'll talk about our own experiences, interview others who have much to share by creating a spark in our lives.
Some days we'll share real-life ongoings of what we're going through, and others will talk about our favorite flavor of waffle.
Come join our adventure.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jerry.
Betty White, our sweet fur baby, is here with us, as always, providing us lots of love and support. We are back for episode 20 of the Arner Adventures podcast. Can you believe that?
I can't believe that. It has gone by so quickly. All that content, I'm proud of that.
20 episodes.
20 episodes.
20 episodes. Yeah. Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, which is a topic that is super important to us. Mental health is important all year round, but we want to make sure that this month especially, we highlight the ways that you can take care of your mental wellness, people who are doing so much in the industry, and just hope that we can be ambassadors ourselves in the way of mental health, because really that's the backbone of how Arner Adventures got started.
We have an interesting episode for you today because this is really off the cuff, unplanned. But before we get to that, let's get to the review of the week, shall we?
Yeah, we shall. Today's review comes from Jessica Will.I.Am. Jessica says, each time I think I cannot be motivated more, another episode makes me even more pumped. This podcast is continuously positive and keeps me sparked, just like the interview series says. This episode with Amicia had me with chills. Everyone has a story, but not everyone talks about them. These guests are amazing.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much for the review, the feedback, and regarding Amicia, we could not agree with you more. Everyone does have a story, and you never know what someone is going through or has gone through. And the fact that our guests come on and share their stories, we're just still amazed, and we're honored and just really appreciative that they do so. And so thank you for that.
Yeah. And if you'd like to be our review of the week and get the chance to receive a gift from Sugar Wish, please take a moment and give us a 5-star reviewer rating. We have an easy link for you all to follow. It's in the show notes. It's lovethepodcast.com/Arner Adventures. It really helps us so much to support us in that way and keeps us pumped and motivated.
And while you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button in the platform you're listening to us on, so you'll be sure to be notified each time that we have an episode drop.
Well, let's just jump right into it. As Jer said, this is off the cuff. This episode was not planned to be what the episode was going to be. Today's episode was supposed to be a Spark in Our Lives episode and talk about Mental Health Awareness Month and stress. Our Spark in Our Lives guest was a no-show. Let's just kind of put it out there. We want to be 100% honest with you and talk about the stress that an event like this can cause, right?
Well, yeah, really, because it really throws us off with our time schedule. It's unfortunate, but these things need to keep clicking along. And when something like that, especially that's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's learning lessons. It's learning lessons of how to be more prepared on our end. I think we had talked about whether we were going to put this out there and what we do put out and what we don't put out. And some things have to be said because we are, I think a lot of the reasons that we have you all, our community, especially our blogger community, is that we have been 100% transparent from the beginning of when we started our blog. People reach out to be on this show now, which is really interesting. Like in the beginning, like we've told you all, our Spark in Our Lives series is that Jerry and I reach out to people to be guests, and we're always shocked when they say yes, because we have people on the show who are a spark in our lives, have been maybe are new sparks in our lives. They inspire us in many ways. And now that people are reaching out to us, it's always a shock. And we have turned, and we don't say this with pride, we have turned people down where it doesn't make sense, much like brands who, will email us about a baby pillow, or they'll email us about, plastic toys or plastic things in our home. If it doesn't make sense to us, if it's not something we would utilize, if it's not putting positivity or joy in our lives or in the world, or to better things, or to make things better for you all, we don't do it. We don't partner with a brand. We don't partner with someone to be on the show. I'm going somewhere with this. This person who was going to be a guest on the show had a story that did have a spark in our life. I presented it to Jerry. We talked about it and said, yeah, I think this is going to be really good. I think there's synergy here. So we had it scheduled. This person canceled last minute once before. Okay, things happen. So we rescheduled. This person was a no-show. And then when I sent this person's assistant an email, hey, I'm here waiting, they wanted to reschedule. This person will never be on the podcast. Okay. So that is why we are here today, to tell you that it causes stress, and it causes learning lessons of how Jerry and I do need to be more prepared. We had no idea that this thing goes on. We've talked to other people in the podcast industry. Apparently this is common with some folks. And so with this being the kickoff show of Mental Health Awareness Month, things get real. And so this was the perfect opportunity for Jerry and I to say, okay, we're going to be authentic with our audience. We're going to still have the show, and we're going to talk about resources that we tap into that are great synergy with us, and that people that are doing really great things in the mental health advocacy wheelhouse.
Well said. Well put. So let's turn this frown upside down.
Yeah.
And move right along.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great episode, and we're going to share our top go-to resources when it comes to mental health awareness. These are people, resources, mental health ambassadors who are helping us all practice self-care, mental wellness, and we utilize these resources and thought this is a perfect time to tap into them while we need them, and also share them with you. So let's get to it, shall we?
Yes. In no particular order, we're going to start with the first one. The first one is Scout Sobel. We have had Scout as a guest on our podcast. She was a wonderful guest. Episode 11, if you'd like to listen. Scout is an entrepreneur who has also lived with bipolar disorder for the last 15 years. She was once unable to function in society, but after finding entrepreneurship and taking radical responsibility over her emotions, she is now able to live a life of purpose. She wrote a book called The Emotional Entrepreneur, which we highly recommend. It provides the mindset and emotional tools she learned from managing her mental illness that have helped her succeed in business. It's amazing. But what she is going to do this month what she is doing this month is a May mental health challenge. When you sign up for the challenge, you'll get daily quick emails from Scout with a different action item each day. Each action item is around 5 minutes or so to complete, but with intentionality, it starts to transform your life. They're action items that help Scout throughout her journey. And we're going to put the link in the show notes. We signed up for it. Super exciting. We highly encourage you to sign up for it. It's just this, easy implementation. And also Scout is a great follow. Of course, we're going to plug the book because we think the book is awesome, but her whole journey is wonderful, but that's a really great resource.
Yeah, it certainly is. She would be good for anybody. I think anybody that would check out her stuff would be immediately taken in.
Mm-hmm.
Our second resource is Mental Health Match. We have talked about this resource on our commercial breaks. This is not sponsored. This is a recommendation, as the commercial is, from our hearts. Mentalhealthmatch.com is a website you can go to, plug in the things you're looking for in a therapist, tools you would like to utilize in therapy, and the parameters help match you with a therapist.
Yeah, you can put in if you have insurance or not, your budget, etc. We met with Ryan Schwartz, who's the owner, I guess now over a year ago, it seems like. Ryan has this really interesting story. He lost his mother and he was grieving. He was struggling to find a therapist. And he was sitting in a coffee shop one day, struggling through these endless websites, not finding any help, looking through these profiles of therapists. And his friend was sitting across from him. And the friend was setting up an online dating account, had no trouble quickly finding dates. He compared the process and realized that it was time for this modern approach to finding a therapist and said, it should be easier to find a therapist than a life partner. So voila, Mental Health Match was born. I have said this in our little commercial breaks, and it's the truth. I found my therapist this way. Several of our friends have found their therapist this way. Our family members that we have recommended Mental Health Match to have found a therapist this way. We cannot recommend this enough. You can find a therapist to meet with you in person, virtually. It is a really great resource. To describe it is one thing, but if you just want to go to mentalhealthmatch.com, you can just plug in your information that you're looking for. You don't even have to use all those parameters if you don't want. Just play with it. You don't have to share your information if you don't want to. You can just use it as sort of a search resource. It's just really great. We'll link the website for you in the show notes on that one as well.
This next one's a lot of fun. Ferris Built. If you follow our Instagram account, you have seen over the past couple of years that we love the products from Ferris Built. Lindsay Ferris is the founder and owner and creator of the products, which consist of mostly wearables, t-shirts, hoodies, but also motivating stickers, coffee mugs, and totes. In fact, those coffee mugs we drink out of every day.
Yeah, we do.
Her merch is designed with a variety of topics covering anything from mental health to current events. Her most notable shirt is one purchased and worn by Meghan Markle. Yes, the Meghan Markle, the RBG t-shirt. Lindsay donates 25% of the net proceeds from her products to mental health advocacy programs. She lists the amounts at the end of each year and what programs the money goes to. These items are really cool.
Yeah, our faves are those PTSD warrior mugs Jerry talked about. My long sleeve t-shirt for OCD. I love a long sleeve t-shirt. It's soft, but it's also, represents me. Jerry, his mindful state t-shirt is your favorite, probably of the wearables.
Yeah.
And and in the summer, I have one from her that has positive vibes. It's a tank top, a racerback tank that I get tons of compliments on. We'll link Ferris Built in the show notes so that you can see all the things that you can purchase, but it's just for a really great cause that, the proceeds, like Jerry said, 25% go to mental health advocacy. And it's just if you're going to buy anything, gifts or anything, why not purchase it and have it go to a great cause for mental health advocacy? And we'll link all of that for you in the show notes.
And number 4, The Good Trade, one of our faves. The Good Trade is just an awesome website where you can shop for sustainable brands for home, fashion, beauty. But more specifically, what we are talking about today is their daily email called The Daily Good.
This has been such a wonderful way to start the digital part of our day. It's the first email I open. I specifically go to it first before I open anything on my phone. So the first thing I do when I go to either my email or my phone, I open nothing else first before I do this email. It's a 30-second newsletter delivered to your inbox daily with carefully curated playlists, recipes, articles, job listings to sustainable companies, and self-care tips. Just this week, they had a list for 99 free or affordable ways to care for yourself. We put this in the highlights of our Instagram stories. They're just small, tangible tips that are just so easy to do. For example, wash your bedding, wipe down your countertops, create a meditation corner, skip alcohol on a Friday night. Just these small little things that add up to positive self-care and mental wellness.
The Daily Good is a positive way to start your day, which in turn creates positive mental wellness, and we highly recommend it.
We'll link how you can sign up for the Daily Good newsletter in the show notes.
And our number 5 resource, Mind Body Green, a self-help website or social media profile that specializes in positive wellness for your mind, body, or ecology wellness. It is all about inspiring you to live your best life. Different writers contribute to the website, writing about personal growth. I have personally found great contributors who have written books that I have later read and also found to be helpful for mental health. For example, an article that I saved that I found to be perfect for this as a great resource from Mind Body Green is 10 Tangible and Thought-Provoking Ways to Practice Self-Love by Nitika Chopra.
You can also find great healthy recipes, articles on integrative health, and even spirituality. It's a great, well-rounded website that puts really wonderful content out into the world.
And our number 6 is Tiny Buddha. And that's just fun to say. That is something I want to dive right into. And I think I did. It's probably one of the earlier self-help things attracted me to that type of thing, the self-help thing. Tiny Buddha is where you can come for wisdom of letting go and letting happiness in. It's a great resource if you're searching for affirmations, posts about happiness, love, relationships, change, meaning, mindfulness, spirituality, simplicity, minimalism, and more.
Much of it has its roots in Buddhism, but Tiny Buddha is not a site about religion. It's about ideas that make sense and make a big difference when applied. You can visit on your own. You can follow Tiny Buddha on social media for inspiration, or you can sign up for their newsletter and set the parameters of whether you want the Monday through Friday email, or if that's too much for you, you can set it up for weekly. This is, again, a beautiful way to have a positive digital delivery in your email or on social media. We'll link all of those in the show notes as well. Our number 7 resource is a resource called Liberate. We found out about Liberate over the COVID quarantine. Liberate is a mental fitness studio. You can strengthen your mental muscles by focusing on one specific goal at a time that you want to work on, from confidence to gratitude. The programs in Liberate are designed to help you thrive. So it's a method called the Liberate method. It's designed to help you gradually apply the brakes on your racing thoughts, all while strengthening those mental muscles like resilience and courage.
Each class engages you in a flow of intentional activities that inspire calmness, connectivity, and confidence. You can sign up at liberatestudio.com, or you can download the app, only on Apple, through which we are bummed about because we're Android folks. But maybe it's coming to the Google Play Store at some point. For now, we can utilize it on our laptop.
Yeah, but Liberate offers over 100 classes. They range from 10 minutes to 60 minutes, meditations and special workshops, journaling prompts with new classes added every week, new programs every month, live classes weekly. You can have access to their wellness community groups. They offer a 7-day free trial, and then it's $19 a month. So there's, you can sign up for the 7-day free trial, decide if it's something that you want to stick with. And then after that, you have that monthly membership. You can go over and give it a try. We'll link that for you in the show notes. We have never seen anything like this before.
Liv Bowser is the founder. She is a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher, as well as a certified yoga instructor. She interviewed psychologists, mental health performance coaches, fitness instructors, and other health professionals, and ultimately created a one-of-a-kind Liberate method and the world's first mental fitness studio.
Yeah, it's a really neat concept. Well, listen, number 8, it's our final. And you know what? Maybe we did save the best for last.
Oh, I think so. And we're kind of bringing it all home to a Charlotte, North Carolina based person.
Yeah. This is Nedra Tawwab. Nedra Tawwab is a boundaries expert. This is something that I constantly struggle with. Nedra Tawwab is a New York Times bestselling author. Like what I said, boundaries expert, relationship expert. She's also a therapist in Charlotte, North Carolina. She wrote this book called Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself. The book also has a workbook with it that you can purchase. She is all about simple yet powerful ways to establish healthy boundaries in all aspects of life.
Not only has she written this book that has changed lives, but she has this email that you can sign up for called Nedra Nuggets, where she writes weekly about mental health and maintaining healthy relationships with yourself and others.
She has this really great quote about boundaries that I like, and it's, remember, you cannot change people. You can ask that they honor your request, and if they do not, you have choices. I just think that's so powerful.
It's a wonderful quote. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to link her information and how you can sign up for the Nedra's Nuggets email in the show notes, as well as how you can purchase her book.
Well, that's the list. We hope those are valuable to you, and not just during Mental Health Awareness Month, but we hope you can implement these during your self-care practice.
Yeah. And if you have resources that you would like to share, please send them our way. We are just open to knowing more about how we can improve our mental wellness and knowing about any resources that are valuable and that we can share with the world. And obviously, the way that we started out this podcast episode, we are always working on our mental health and always trying to reduce our stress, and always want to know about anyone who is out there putting out positive ways to improve both. So please send them our way. You know, as always, you can find us at arneradventures.com, on Instagram at Arner Adventures, also linked in the show notes.
So until next time, enjoy the journey that you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye.